Welcome to Your Food Business Success. This podcast is for early stage entrepreneurs in the packaged food industry ready to finally turn that delicious idea into reality. I'm your host, Sari Kimball. I have guided hundreds of food brand founders to success as an industry expert and business coach, and it's gotta be fun. In this podcast, I share with you mindset tools to become a true entrepreneur and run your business like a boss. Interviews with industry experts to help you understand the business you are actually in, and food founder journeys so you can learn what worked and didn't work and not feel so alone in your own journey. Now let's jump in. Hey there, welcome back to the podcast. Feeling a lot more energy this week. The COVID brain fog fatigue has lifted. Hallelujah. So getting back at it, and I am excited for September. I don't know about you, but I feel like when fall comes, when September hits, it's like there's a reset. I think it's actually even better than January as far as like setting goals and really thinking big. And there's a desire, I think, after the summer where it feels like we kind of have a looser schedule and we go on vacations and we stay up later and maybe do other activities that we wouldn't normally do. There's something about the going back to school, even if you're not in school, even for me still, it's like that back to school feeling where we're going to get back into routines and we're going to set some goals. And maybe we want to, physically like get back to eating healthier or getting, to bed at a certain time and getting enough sleep. But the cooler days and things start to, I don't know, there's just a change in the air. And I always love to capitalize on this feeling, this motivation and inspiration to, reset. And certainly for me, COVID was actually one of the best things, if we're going to try to find the silver lining, was an opportunity to, I couldn't do anything. And so it was kind of resetting, like, well, what is it that I want to do when I come back and I'm feeling better? And for me, it's about really paying attention and giving a lot of focus to food business success and to our amazing membership inside the Fuel community and giving back to them and giving them lots of attention and love. And then it's also about the winter farmers market and the market that I run in the winter. And we're recruiting vendors and kind of getting all of that set up right now. And it's also laying foundations for my business. I'm doing some work with a financial coach, and that's been really hard, but also really good. And so I'm trying to create some new habits, also for my body, health-wise. I definitely have some goals around that. And so I love this time of year to write those things down and to really think about what would it take to achieve those. And part of my September plan, as I mentioned, I've been thinking about my Fuel community and how I can really serve and support them. And, when we head into September, we have 4 months left. And I like to think back to the goals that I set for myself back in January. And this is a really good time to take inventory. And we're not going to beat ourselves up because life happens. And we always overestimate what we can do, even in a year, right? We overestimate what we can do in a relatively short amount of time. And we underestimate what we can do in a longer period of time. But I feel like this is a really good time to step back, evaluate, just take in inventory. These are just the facts. Where are we at in the business and in my life, benchmarking against those goals that I set way back in January. And so what I'm putting together is a full creating, achieving your goals for 2020 program inside Food Business Success. So we are going to start with a workshop in September where I'm going to talk about the 5 strategies, the 5 steps to implement to achieve big goals. And I'm a little bit different, maybe. I like going after impossible goals, goals that are literally impossible in your brain right now to create, because it forces you to stretch yourself beyond what you think is possible. And we're always going to have the agreement up front that no matter what, we're never going to beat ourselves up. We are never going to get down on ourselves because we didn't achieve that goal. In fact, the opposite is true. Because it's quote unquote impossible, we are just going to tell ourselves like, yeah, it's impossible, but we're going to go after it anyway for the sort of the game, for the opportunities that it creates to evolve ourselves and to get out of our comfort zone. And so in this 90-minute class, we're going to talk about the 5 steps, the ways that we achieve our goals. We are going to have a work session, a little bit of a work session towards the end where you're going to use my worksheet and we're going to define your end of year goal that you want to create, right? We still have 4 months. Or that, this is really a 90-day plan in September that you're going to create for the rest of the year. What I want to come from that is that you're going to have your full plan. And then what we're actually going to do after the workshop is the following week, we're going to have a 2-hour working session. I call them power hours. And members inside Fuel are going to be able to come together and we're going to go over their individual goal worksheets and their plan and get feedback for them, as well as it be a planning session, a work session. And there's something really powerful about group working sessions, these power hours, where you're like feeding off the energy of the group. And we're doing one of the most important things when we talk about how do we achieve our goals, and that is accountability. That there are other people there working, they are focused, we are all focused, and you have stated a result ahead of time of what you want to accomplish, the result you want to create in that working session. And then we're going to have check-ins throughout that rest of the year, those 90 days. And so it's a place to come and get support and feedback and all the connections that I can offer you, all the advice and strategies, as well as from the group. So it's going to be a really powerful program. I'm really excited to offer this inside Food Business Success. So if you are not inside Food Business Success, what in the world? What are you waiting for? You make a one-time investment and then you are in the program. You get the full program for life and you have 3 months inside Fuel. So that is plenty of time for you to be a part of this program and go after your big 2022 goal. It is not too late. Please do not give up on yourself. I have a great podcast from last year. I'll put the episode number in the show notes, but it's called Your Fourth Quarter Pep Talk. And it's about like, this is not the time to quit. This is not the time to throw in the towel. This is the time to like recharge and go in the locker room and pump yourself up and get the support and accountability and resources that you need and come out swinging, come out excited, ready to go. Like this is the time to get into action. It is not over until it's over. And so we have 4 months with September to go after it. And I would love to help you. So the rest of this podcast, I went back and I was curious. I wanted to listen to the very first episode, 2 years later. And I was nervous. I was like, oh, this is going to sound so dumb. Because this first episode is my most downloaded episode. And I was like, oh gosh, has this stood the test of time? And I listened to it this morning. I was like, this is so good. Wow. Great job, Sari. Like totally had my own back. It's so perfect for what we are talking about here right now about achieving your goals. It is about creating rules in your life for the next 30 days to really show up for yourself, to create consistency where you are like, dang, I honor my word. I follow through. I can trust myself. And what I'm talking about in this first podcast is really the badass 30. I just don't call it that. I'm going to play episode 1 here. And so you can re-listen to that and remember, even if you listened to it a long time ago, you're going to be like, oh yeah, you didn't remember everything, I promise. And so I talk about why putting in some rules over the next 30 days is so important to achieving your goals. So it's such a great time to set ourselves up as we go into fall, right? And we're resetting and we look ahead to what we want to create for the end of the year. This is going to be such a great listen. If you want to get the full badass 30 rules and have me break it down even further, that is episode 50. So you can also listen to that one. I'm going to be doing a badass 30 challenge for myself in September, and I'm going to be asking Fuel members inside Food Business Success to also jump in with me, because this is the foundation to sticking to it, to following through and taking action through the end of the year. You can join me whether you are inside Food Business Success or not, but this is the most important thing you can do to set yourself up for success. So enjoy episode 1, and until next time, have an amazing week. This is it, the first podcast of Food Business Success. And I am so excited to be here. This has been a long time coming. Many of you have probably found me on YouTube and on social media, but I have honestly been a little terrified to start a podcast. I don't know why. What the difference is. I mean, some people would be terrified to start a YouTube video channel. But here we are, and I am going to use this as an example of doing the impossible, doing things that scare us, and overcoming our obstacles and achieving our goals. So thank you for being here with me today and joining me on this very first podcast. So I want to launch this podcast with a couple of episodes around how to achieve your goals. I think about my clients and my students all the time, and I think about ways and implement ways that I can help people actually achieve their goals. And I see some big differences with people that come to me and they're excited, and then things fall flat and I never hear from them again. I wonder what they've been doing, if they have just started that business, if they're growing that business. And then I have people that I talk with and I know, I can feel it, that they are going to achieve their goals. They are doing it. And it's, so I've been really thinking a lot about what are those differences. And I want to give you guys over the next couple of episodes some strategies, some things that I have found that have worked for my business, which has grown immensely over the last, I've been doing this for 5 years, but really the last year and a half has been tremendous growth in my business. And it is because I've implemented these tools, and also I have seen my clients implement them as well. So I know it works. So let's jump in and let's talk about the first thing that I see as the big difference. And I want to give you a challenge here. So to me, consistency is one of the biggest hurdles, one of the thieves that steal our dreams if we are lack of consistent, or we're consistent, frankly, in the wrong things, right? So it is that one thing. If you show up consistently for your dreams, it will always work. The results are inevitable. I truly, truly believe that. So what's the problem here? Why is it so hard to be consistent? It's hard, right? Like, you want to lose weight? You got to show up and be consistent in your workouts and in your food protocol. And the same thing is true for your business. I think of consistency as a promise to yourself. It is a pathway to trust, right? Like when you decide that you're going to show up for your goals, whatever they are. In this case, since we're talking about packaged food, that could be launching your delicious idea, your salsa, your kombucha, your jam, your bread, your condiment. I mean, the list goes on and on of amazing, innovative products that I see and the passion in the people who want to start these businesses. Or it's that you already have a business and now it's time to really dig in and actually make some money on this and be profitable and grow your brand. So let's use those as examples, since that's what this podcast is all about. So think about if you made a promise to yourself to show up every day for your business, the immense amount of trust that you would start having in yourself to follow through. It's hard, believe me. I can honestly say that I've only really worked on this concept for consistently working on consistency over the last year and a half, and it has changed my life. What does that look like? That means that you are stepping up and you are making some decisions about your business that you are going to do every day. It's not about the big wins, right? There's no overnight success. I can promise you that. I know it's easy to hear things, podcasts and hear stories of food brands that seem like they're an overnight success, but I can guarantee you there is none. And so if all you're focused on is, I want that big reward, that big win immediately, and then you don't get it because it's going to take some grit, it's going to take you pushing through, it's going to take commitment, that's where people give up. They're all passion, but they don't actually take the actions that are necessary. And it's doing the thing that is just as easy not to do, right? Like, no one is forcing you to start a business. No one is forcing you to take action, right? And so we put off and we put off and we put off those daily actions that will actually move us forward. So I like to think that by making that one decision, if you commit and you say, I am going to start my business or I'm going to grow my business, that you are making one decision that is really actually made up of thousands of small decisions to show up every day in your business. So what if you decided, so here's my challenge to you. I want you to choose 3 daily actions that you can do over the course of the next 30 days to help move your business forward. So think about what are things that you can do every single day. And I'll give you some examples, some ideas that you might consider for you. They don't have to be difficult. Yes, you need to do them every single day. No days missed, right? This is about you showing up for you and your dream. Some ideas might be that you are going to write down in your journal, get a journal first, and write down your goals for your business for the next year. Write them down every single day. And I do this. I started this in January 2019, and it has changed my life. It sets me up every day thinking, setting my brain on positivity and remembering why I do this, why I get up every day to serve people and help them create their dreams. So I write down my goals, and these could be just business goals, and they could also be life goals as well. But if you take the time to write, to put pen to paper, you are engaging your brain in a whole new way. And what if, just think about, what if the difference between you achieving your goals was this small action, this 10-minute exercise? I mean, you can write for more, but really, if you had 3 goals, 5 goals for your next year, and you spent 10 minutes just writing those goals down, that could be everything. Like, can you commit to doing that? Some other ideas are engaging in groups. And I know things are challenging, obviously, right now. We can't get out and network the same way. But you can join Facebook groups, including Food Business Success. I have a free private food entrepreneur group. Go join that. Go just search Facebook and join Food Business Success. So I want you to think about, how can I engage in groups like this? There are a ton of other, you're in a category, what's called CPG. So if you don't know what that is, consumer packaged goods. So go search for CPG groups. If you're cottage food, go search for cottage food groups on Facebook. There's a ton of great groups out there that will really help you connect with other entrepreneurs and other people working in this industry. Go to LinkedIn as well. It's another great space. Go join some networking organizations, when kind of what's great about right now is that even if you don't live in Boulder or Austin or the Bay Area or Chicago, you can go join all of those naturally Boulders and naturally Austins. And they're delivering all of their content virtually. So can you once a day for the next 30 days, go and engage in these virtual groups? Go and encourage others, introduce yourself, ask for support, ask that question. Just really show up and be engaged and be engaging. So that would be another idea of something you could do for 30 days. I also love the idea of you, and I do this every day, this is a part of my morning routine, is to listen to a podcast or an Audible book while I'm getting ready that's all about my business growth. So either increasing my knowledge in the areas that I work in, or it's helping me manage my mind and thinking about entrepreneurship and getting new ideas around achieving my goals, or having a success mindset and what that takes, or how to make offers. So I spend 30 minutes listening to a podcast or a book. I like to say books on tapes. That maybe tells you my age, but on Audible or whatnot, right? Or your library. I mean, you can go to the library, like your online digital library, and they have ebooks or they have Audible books that you can just download and listen to those. So imagine if you wrote down your goals every day for the next 30 days, you listen to a positive podcast or book about achieving your goals, entrepreneurship, or expanding your knowledge in your business. You networked with other organizations and asked questions, but also gave back. Another idea is creating content that every day, if you already have a business, you are going to post on social media, do a story, write that email, that you are going to have some kind of content that you put out there every day. So those are just some ideas. You can also think about ways that you want to show up consistently just for you. So right now, for me, I'm doing this challenge, and my consistency actions are, I write down 5 big rocks that I want to move in my business, that I want to take care of in my daily actions. And so I write down those 5 things that are must-dos. They have to be accomplished. So think about that could be another option for you. What if you took 1 or 2 or 3 actions every day that moved your business forward? You applied for that license. You sent that email. You join Food Business Success and you take, you watch that first module, or you actually are going to do your pricing worksheet. One or 2 or 3 things that will help you move your business forward. The smallest things. They don't have to be difficult, but you have to do something every day. My other 2 consistent actions are to get at least 20 minutes of exercise every single day, which shouldn't be that hard, but there are days when I do not want to do that. But I put on the walking shoes or I put on a yoga video and I get at least those 20 minutes a day. The other thing that I do is I have committed to doing what I call a love connection every day, that I reach out to somebody in my life and I tell them how much I love them and appreciate them. So again, you don't have to just be business consistent actions, but I definitely want you to at least have 1 or 2 for your business, and then also have some fun ones and some things that really help your health or your relationships and connection with people. So imagine, think about it. It's like mind blowing what could happen in 30 days if you just did 3 things to help you move your business forward. And I can tell you from experience that the actions compound and they're not linear. It's not like a 1-for-1 exchange. There is this tipping point that you keep showing up and you keep taking these actions, even when it's scary, even when it's hard, even when you don't want to. You have made a promise to yourself to do this. As they compound, it's almost like compound interest. Like at some point in this activity, in this challenge, and I don't know, it could be longer than 30 days, but there will be a point where there's momentum that builds up and it's almost like you become unstoppable. Like your goal is possible and it just like speeds up, right? It's like you push the rock up the hill and now it's starting to roll, you're tipping it over the hill and it's gaining momentum. So that's really, really cool that you're going to get that result that you want in your business. And it's way beyond that cumulative effort, right? The number of things that you do, it's not a 1-for-1. This is all about patience in the long game. And I put up a quote recently that instant gratification is what kills our dreams. I got that quote from Brooke Castillo, the Life Coach School. I highly, highly recommend her podcast. I really believe that you have to stop trying to get that instant gratification, because what you're going to end up doing is you'll try 1 day, 2 days, 3 days, and then you're going to give up and you're going to give in to, I'm just going to binge watch TV or I'm going to get on social media and just scroll through. You're going to find activities that, don't serve you, that don't serve your goal because you didn't get that instant win. So are you willing to commit to your goal and then be in it for the long game? It is that patience. And ultimately, what I would love to happen for you is that you end up loving the process, right? This isn't just about the end goal. I know it's cliche to say like, enjoy the journey, but you are on a journey, and why not have some fun? That is actually one of the things that I really, really value in my work that I do with my clients and students, is that we actually have some fun. Like, this should not be torture. You are starting a business. How cool is that? You are becoming an entrepreneur. And I can tell you it will be the hardest thing you ever have done. and will do. And it is also the most rewarding. So let's have some fun doing it, right? And really love and enjoy this process. It's not about just getting to the end goal, whatever that is for you. So I will leave it at that. I want to keep these relatively short and sweet. So I want to encourage you to join me in this 30-day challenge. Choose 3 daily actions that will move your business forward. Make those sales calls. Go online and do some research. Do the goal writing. Do content posting. Just choose 3. And show up and commit to yourself today that you are going to do that 30-day challenge. And I would love to hear about what are your 3 things that you are going to do consistently to move your business forward and work on your big goal for the next year. Come post inside the Food Business Success private Facebook group, or find me on all the social media under Food Business Success. And I would love to help you in your journey to make your food business real. The smartest thing you can do as an entrepreneur is to invest in a who to help you with the how, to speed up your journey and help you skip the line. When you are ready for more support and accountability to finally get this thing done, you can work with me in 2 ways. Get me all to yourself with one-on-one business coaching, or join Food Business Success, which includes membership inside Fuel, our community of food business founders that includes monthly live group coaching calls and so much more. It's one of my favorite places to hang out, and I would love to see you there. Go to foodbizsuccess.com to start your journey towards your own food business success.